Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. Now we are ready to open up day 11 and this is a longer one. I had a feeling that I knew what was in here and I was right. I suspected that it was a small embossing folder and that's what it is. So it had a little pull tab on there, just pulled it and was able to pull that out there. And it just kind of shows you the pattern of the embossed panel on the little door there. And I'm just going to remove this little sticky pull off of here. And it's in a little sleeve here. I just need to take it out. And this is just a little strip embossing folder, which is going to work out perfect for me because I've got some strips from the cards I've been doing the last few days. And I'm just going to emboss all of these strips up and we'll just have some panels. So I'm just going to get it lined up. These work very well on your Scout. So I enjoy getting these smaller embossing folders just because I can use them with my Scout on my videos. And if you get creative, you can make some really neat looking, panels for your various cards. Now for this one, I'm going to emboss all of my strips that I have laying there. And we're going to just kind of make an interesting little pattern with our embossed panels. I had that Dune cardstock there that is Spellbinders. I have this gold metallic strip, and then I've got some black onyx Spellbinders, a strip here. And I'm just going to use these strips together to create an interesting panel for my card. And I think it's going to turn out really cute. I've been trying to build off of each day, just pull in materials from the previous days to build my cards, and I'm going to continue to do that today. Now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to line these panels up, and I know it's bigger than what I want, so I'm going to take this Dune one and cut it down, and then we will get our little panel ready to go. So I'm just going to trim that edge off of there. And we'll get these three strips laid down here together. And I love the colors, just the mixture of the colors there together. I think they blend very nicely. So we're going to work with that. And just I went looking and I had this old, just a couple of pieces of paper from a Spellbinders paper pad called Time Offline. And I had this starry sky that had the black and the gold and kind of a taupe mixture in it, and I thought it would look perfect with these panels. So I'm just going to glue it up and lay it down on the base of my card, and it'll just add a little bit of interest to the background of our card. And it will get this piece of paper that has been in my craft room for quite a while out of my craft room. So I was happy that I saw that and thought to use it. So I'm just trying to get this laid down on this card base. I'm going to have to trim it up a little bit. It looks like I got a little extra at the top there. And we're all ready to go. Now we're going to work with our 3 panels. And we're just going to flip these over, line these up, and tape them down. If you've been watching my video the past week, you've seen me do this with some other ones. Just a kind of a cheat way to get them attached, and then you can get them glued down on your card base. So I'm just going to bring in this washi tape, and we'll lay some strips down there and kind of get them lined up real nice and neat. And they don't have to go the full length of it. We just want to get them enough to where it's holding my panels nicely together. And we'll just get it lined up. There we go. And now we've got our panel. Now we just need to get it to the right size. I know it's longer than what I need, and so I'm going to cut it down, and then I'll check the width of it as well, because I think that black panel is a little bit off. I'm not sure. I wanted to cut off each end. And then we're going to line it up. And then we'll give it a little bit of a trim. I'm just measuring, trying to decide exactly what I need to trim. And I guess I didn't trim the black side. But anyway, so we're going to get this laid down on here, and I think these look really cool. That we use the same embossing folder, and we've got 3 different cardstocks. And they laid very well together, considering 2 of them were spellbinders and then the one in the middle was not. I thought they laid fairly even and lined up quite well. So we'll get this laid down on there, and then as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, now what other elements am I going to bring in from the Crafty Advent Calendar for this? And I got to thinking about the stamp set. I thought, well, I've got my sentiment there, and I brought in some more of that Dune cardstock. And so I'm going to, and I know that this piece of Dune cardstock is not big enough for that floral element, but that's okay. It'll make it look different from my other cards, and that I'm just going to capture some of the leaves and just a tiny little bit of the flowers. So it will look very different, and you can use this stamp set in that way and just pick out pieces of it that you like and stamp down. And then it gives you multi-uses for the floral stamp. You don't always have to have that same image. So I like that idea. And I'm using the Hello Friend sentiment. And I am going to just bring in my Nocturne ink and stamp it down. And I am going to emboss it. I'd recently got some of the Nouveau embossing powder from Kendra, and I wanted to use it again. And so I'm going to bring it in, and we'll sprinkle this Hello Friend, and then we will heat emboss, and we'll have our sentiment. So this is just that Nouveau, and it's kind of got chunky. It's a chunky embossing powder. It's got some big chunks in there. So I just wanted to give it a try again and see what happens. And so that's what we're going to do. Just trying to make sure I get it covered very well. We'll just put that back in the container and put it away and get our heat tool. It's running, warming up, and I'm just kind of cleaning off some little bits that needed to be cleaned off on there. Just get this embossed, and you'll see all that gold shine, and it looks beautiful. Love it. Okay. And so the next, so I'm kind of eyeballing where I want it, but I'm going to bring in the squiggly. I don't even know. It looks like cake icing. And I die cut it out from that starry paper. I had a little piece of that left on there, and I die cut it out. Now I'm creating a puddle here, and I've got some good Spellbinders Essential cardstock that I had done some heat embossing and some coloring, and it just turned out awful, and I had it in the trash. So I just dug this out of the trash, and I'm making a puddle. And I realized I probably could use the back of that panel for something, but it was embossed and just yucky, and I just threw it away. So I'm going to lay this squirrely, I don't know, I just think of icing when I look at that. And I'm going to lay this on here just for some interest. And then we've got our sentiment. And I'm not liking how that dune looks on top of the dune. I want to separate it. So I've got this scrap piece of black cardstock that I have die cut out from the day before our sentiment. And I'm just going to lay it down on here, and I'll just trim around it and make a nice little border around our Hello Friend sentiment. Just try and get a nice edge on 2 sides, like a nice even edge on 2 sides, and then I can just trim it up. And I'm just going to use my little non-stick scissors and just give it a trim. Usually I use my Tim Holtz scissors for that because they're long and straight, but I'm going to use these. And then we'll get this laid down on there. And this card came together really quickly. And these ideas have just been popping into my head. I guess I've been inspired by these products because I really have been able to really put things together very quickly without much thought. So hopefully I think the makes have been turning out pretty good, even though they've kind of been very quick inspirational makes. So I'm going to get my sentiment laid down on here. And then I was thinking about those woodland enamel pieces that went with the woodland tails set. It's got the black and the gold on there, and I thought that would look perfect with this card. So I just brought them in, and I'm going to lay 3 of these large ones down and try and use them up. I favor the smaller ones, and so I have, a lot of the bigger ones left on my little pieces here. And so I'm going to try and bring in some of the 3 bigger ones and 2 of the medium ones and use those up on here. And I think it'll add some additional interest to the card. And I think it turned out really nice. So I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.